steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Yeah, pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, March 22nd. We've got some great games on tap today, an 8-pack of games in the NCAA tournament second round to finish it off, get our teams in the Sweet 16, and, well, just one way to put it, I don't know if sometimes you go to the dance and you're looking for the right partner, you're looking for the love of your life, you're looking for your Cinderella, you're looking to slip on the shoe, you're looking for that magic, you're looking for midnight action, and it didn't show up. Cinderella didn't show up to the NCAA tournament here in 2022, and you know what? It's just the way things go nowadays, right? Look, it's only going to get worse if we're going to expand to 72, 74 teams, whatever the case may be. It's going to get worse. You're going to get more of those blowouts. You're going to get more top-heavy performances with the money, with the NIL, and you're going to have those teams left holding the proverbial bag if they can even get that. So maybe Cinderella didn't show up. We'll see. Obviously, given what we saw yesterday, given the matchups here, look, it makes for great basketball. We're getting rid of the teams that, they're probably not going to have a chance once they get to the Sweet 16, but that's just the way it's unfolding here right now with the NCAA tournament. For better or worse, I know we love our Cinderellas. We love to see a new team pop up, maybe surprise here, maybe some mid-major team getting to the Final Four. Just not happening this year in the NCAA tournament. Well, we've seen, the teams that have advanced so far here in the tournament, with teams like Illinois, Houston. We saw the matchups here coming up for next week as well. So we'll talk about it. Want to hear from you in the chat and see what you think about the NCAA tournament. Maybe we can get something to happen today with our teams, but we'll see. We'll preview all 8 games. We'll preview the Major League NBA. We want Major League Baseball. We preview our NBA games. One game got kicked to the curb. Guess which game that is? NHL. I think we're looking at all the games in the NHL. They all have some even minimal ramifications here today. So we'll preview those games as well. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hey, I hope you were with us last night all the way through from start to finish with UFC Fight Night, Evloev versus Murphy. They didn't kick me off the show there with my winning card there. At least I won. My premium card was a little 50-50, but did hit my show picks for sure there, especially on some of the good fights there. And I had the winners last night. How did you do with our fight card? Did you join us here with Evloev outpointing Murphy there in the final fight? I had Murphy plus 5.5 points, and when they took that point away from Evloev, it might have put me over the top. Actually, a 4-point victory in the end for Evloev, winning on 2 cards by 2 points, and then the other card was a draw. So it ended up being a majority decision victory there for Evloev, the number 1 contender in the featherweight division. That was a pretty decent fight. There were some bad ones in there as well. They had Michael Venom Page. The Venom wasn't too deadly as him and Patterson dueled to one of the most boring fights in UFC history there. I had the over 2.5 rounds. It kind of went as predicted for me there yesterday on the show. Also, Riley defeating Aswell, our man there. We've had him on BB MMA picks before, and he's got a good chin, but he lost again. And I had Riley minus 3.5 in that one on the show yesterday. So did come through with some good wins on the show. Jones over Sola as well. Wood plus the points against Keita, but Wood won anyways there in that one. And also did come home with some other winners on the card, like Pericic there as well. We had Silva, CLD there yesterday among my other winners. So I was in a better mood because, well, you know what? When I'm winning, I guess I'm in a better mood. Good thing you don't sit here with me all day through some of the ups and downs in our sports betting. But thank you for joining us on that card. Next week, they will be, I believe, in Seattle next week for UFC. So, yeah, they're still a little on tour here, if you will, and they'll be fighting next week there in Seattle with that main event on Saturday. Make sure you join us. We're back at the regular time next week, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, for UFC Fight Night next week with that main event in Seattle between Izzy Adesanya and Joe Pyfer next week. So feels like we got a good one there. And thank you again for joining us here this week on our UFC show. All right, and we were keeping an eye on all the college basketball yesterday, and what a day, and what a night in college basketball. We were able to bring home some winners here on the show. We really did a pretty good job here, it felt like, on the show. I'm on a good groove in the NCAA tournament. Hate to see it kind of cracking down here at the end, but how did you do yesterday in the NCAA tournament? We had some, like I said, some winners here yesterday. I'll talk about a few of the games here right now, and then we'll get to the previews. We should have a smooth show here today. And again, we're running our single games out here at 12:15 Eastern, 9:15 Pacific. All right, let's take a look. Yesterday's action in the NCAA tournament, of course, Nebraska over Vanderbilt, 74-72. You know, the favorites. We're talking about the no Cinderella, the 20 straight favorites that won straight up and making it so tough to find upsets. You got to kind of go to two big teams. I see Newcastle scored here on Sunderland. We got some early morning action from England's top leagues here today. Also a big match today over there. We got the Caribou Cup today, final today with Manchester City and Arsenal is kind of a feature. There are some EPL games, but have the Carabao Cup today with Arsenal favored over Manchester City. That's at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Let me get back to it, though, here with Nebraska over Vanderbilt, 74-72. You got to look somewhere maybe for the upsets, and I guess that was an upset here. I had the under on the morning steam show as my winner here with you guys on the show, but 74-72 as Prager, the freshman of Nebraska, scored that winning hoop with 2.2 seconds left. Tyler Tanner, 27 for Vandy, and his half-court shot at the buzzer rattled in and out. Not the first time he's rattled the half-court buzzer beater that was halfway down and didn't go down. There, the Huskers are in the Sweet 16 for the first time ever after winning their first two tournament games ever. You know, it's kind of been a culmination for this Nebraska program. Some might argue that maybe even, can't say it now that last year's team was better the year before, but they've been progressing here steadily and were able to get it done here and beat Vandy. So good win there for Nebraska to advance in the NCAA tournament. Nebraska's won 6 of its last 8 games, and they overcame a deficit of 5 points with 5.5 left. Arkansas over High Point, 94-88. Another great performance from High Point. Arkansas gets the win. They don't cover. We did have High Point here on the show yesterday. Talk about High Point first. I mean, Bob Martin, the Bob Martin scored 30 points and 5 assists. You heard Coach Cal talking about High Point at the end of the or in the post game there. High Point spent $4 million in NIL money, probably one of the highest amount of money in these lower mid-major tiers. More and more people are looking into High Point. They are probably the fastest rising program in the NCAA. You're going to see more of High Point in the future in the NCAA tournament, winning mid-major league championships. This is a program that is out of all the noise of the mid-majors and where to look. I mean, this High Point team, Coach Cal, you heard him talking about. The thing is, they're obviously in a basketball-rich part of the country, and they've got money. They've got money. They got one donor who I think is carrying the whole program, but really classy team, High Point. Arkansas got the win. High Point did lead with 8.5 minutes to go. Darius Cuff, 36 points, 6 assists. Cuff was 11 of 13 from the foul line. High Point was 10 of 11. So Cuff got the free throws down there to get the win. And Coach Cal's heading to the Sweet 16 for the 17th time. Texas over Gonzaga. You want an upset? I got you an upset here for you. Texas with the win over Gonzaga is 6.5 point dogs here. Zags led in the first half by as many as 8 points, but Texas kind of dominated inside the arc, and they won for the third time this week here the NCAA tournament. Their big center, Vokatitis, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and teams didn't shoot very well from three-point range. We did have Texas here on the show yesterday, so we had some winners on this show for sure yesterday. I almost won them all, actually. I think we may have lost a couple here, I'll tell you in just a moment, but Gonzaga, they're in the missing the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row. And I said at the beginning, this is not the typical Gonzaga team that we've seen. They're just not as good as those other previous iterations in the past. And we'll see what happens when they move to the new Pac-12. They'll be in there with teams from the Mountain West and Oregon State and Washington State, among others. But Texas advances in the NCAA tournament there for next week, and we'll see Texas there in the next round. All right.
Final.
Michigan State over Louisville, 77-69. Jeremy Fears, 12 points, 16 assists. Cardinals were without their star, Mikael Brown, over the last 6 games before getting eliminated here. Fears passed Magic Johnson for the most assists in an NCAA tournament game in school history with 16 points there in that one. You had some, you had Carr in there with a big game, and Fort as well, and Kohler. So real good. This is what Coach Izzo does every year. Tries every year, right? But when he's got a guard that can really run things like Fears, this is what makes Michigan State that team every year, the way Coach Izzo has it. Carr had 21 and 10. Louisville couldn't make but 35% from three-point range, and they were 50% inside the arc, but the Spartans were 14 of 19 from the foul line, and Louisville just 4 of 6 from the foul, 6 free throws there in that one. Houston routed Texas A&M 88-57. Who's got Houston to kind of overcome things, right? We always say Houston a disappointment in the end, but man, when you're beating up on a team here like they did on Texas A&M. Hey, we had Houston here on the show. I'm trying to find a loser right now, but Houston gets the win. They led by 18 at halftime. Final. They had 19 offensive rebounds and dominated the boards. You dominate the boards in this tournament, you're going to win your games. Not great three-point shooting in that one. Houston, though, dominated from inside. They were pretty efficient. They shot nearly 60% inside the three-point line. Illinois over VCU there, 76-55. I had the under in that one to win another one. That's 5-0. I'm trying to count the winners here for Illinois. They shot 56% inside the arc, outscored VCU by 14 points in the second half. Lewis of VCU, I was on VCU, not on the show here, but did bet VCU, and their guard Lewis got hurt first minute of the game, turned his ankle, could not return with a severely sprained ankle, and it affected VCU in the end. They hung in there for a little while, but then got blown out. Illinois versus Houston, that's going to be an interesting game. Contrast of styles there a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Illinois dominated the boards there, just as I said, and Illinois got the win. All right, here's my loser. TCU got blown out there by Duke. TCU did hang in there for certainly in the first half, and all of a sudden you look up and Duke was up by 16 points and pulling away from TCU. So just not quite enough there from the Frogs, as Duke looked good despite missing a couple players. Duke shot 71% inside the arc and had a big edge on the boards by 16. So Duke was 20 of 23 on the foul line, and the Horned Frogs were 5 of 10. So there you go. In that one, Michigan over St. Louis. Yeah, I had the under in this one, so I lost a few here on Sunday, on a tournament Saturday. But it was Michigan routing St. Louis 95-72, turning away another Cinderella bid from the Billikens. Michigan dominated the boards, 15 board edge against St. Louis. You know, you could go down and try to figure out the offensive rebounding, and you'll probably be right in the NCAA tournament. Mara, 16 points, 4 block shots for Michigan, and they outscored St. Louis by 14 in the second half. Too bad for the Billikens there in that one, as they go down to defeat there as well. So, all right, a couple others there in the NCAA tournament. So, pretty fun time there yesterday, and I hope you had some winners. Let's go to the chat, see who did well yesterday in the NCAA tournament here with me on the show. Hello to the chat pros. Chat all-stars here today, including Jimbo and M the Great, and Blake's here today. Cascade ready to go with us. Jimbo is here. Want to say hello and welcome to Your Navy Coffee Shop. Thank you for being here. Your Nay Coffee Shop. Sorry about that. Your Nay Coffee Shop. Wow, pleasure to have you here. Steve Lefterian's here. Bobby Mack is here, ready to go with the show. Andrew's here, and he's talking Kansas. And when you talk basketball, you can't help but talk about you got James Naismith, a great Canadian there. Why isn't Canada can't keep, you know, they got a few players, but all right. And Gravy's here today. Gravy doing a great job right now with all of his updates. Joshua David Brown is here today representing Australia. Irish King ready to go as well. And NIL changes things, right? And not only that, right, Andrew, you know, once you go to one of these, mid-major teams or one of these upstart teams, if you're any good, you're getting the bag and going to a bigger school. It's just going to make it so tough for these mid-majors ever to get through anymore. And, you know, that's what people want. They want the tournament expanded so we can get more smaller teams in there, right? Or I don't know, maybe those borderline mid-major teams too. I guess that's what we need, more of those here. Robert's ready to go today in his football. And let's see here, St. John's and Duke maybe for Andrew. He's looking forward to that. Nuke is ready. He's looking at all the games. Nuke's not letting you down. He says, hey, we got 8 games in the NCAA. We got 6 games in the NIT. Now, we're not going to preview any NIT games here on the show. You're welcome to put your picks in. We're not going to water down the product here with we know what's here. We're here for the big show. Redbeard's been around here lately. Good to see Redbeard. And we've got Philly Eagle Flyer here. Good morning to Philly Eagle Flyer. Also, let's see, Jim Deweiger's here. He had the over in that Gonzaga game. I'm not calling you out, Jim. That was an under. Come on, you know that's got to be an under there with Gonzaga right now. There, Redbeard said he likes Miami here today in their matchup. there against Purdue. And that one goes off first, of course. Thank you to Redbeard for his pick. Terrell is here. Thank you. He's there. Okay, Andrew as well. St. John's can beat Duke. Man, St. John's is hot, hot, hot right now. Justin's here this morning. Good morning to Justin. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Let's see here. R. Thompson is ready to go with us today. I'm almost done with the comments here. And Terrell says, that's just it. There are no Cinderellas. Too bad. But we do have great matchups from here going forward. So, sometimes even when we have a Cinderella star, because usually that's where it ends. They get the two big wins, and you go to the Sweet 16, and they're going to get blowed out. But okay, enormous game for St. John, says Andrew. Kansas seeking their first 16 appearance since 2022. St. John seeking their first Sweet 16 since 1999. That's going to be a great one. And James Parham is here. And hey, MT is here, and he says St. John's going to get it done today. We'll preview it here in just a moment. Hey, we did have some winners in the other sports yesterday as well. Not in hockey. You guys might fire me here the way it's going. I'm surprised anybody even, maybe because we had to roll through the picks so fast. I don't know. And just a little bit rough. I did have a few winners here on the ice there last night, but not very many. Golden Knights and Predators game the third straight day where I finished a couple of games under 500, to say the least. So apologize there, man. Been having a fun time with hockey this year, but what's going on here? Did have winners, though, with Vegas and Golden Knights game to go under. We did have that one there. I had the Buffalo Sabres. Who didn't? They're over the Kings. Buffalo, just unbelievable right now. So enjoyable. We did have a premium pick winner with the Toronto-Ottawa game on our Sports Money premiums. Going over in that one. Also, we had Ottawa on the show. Bummer there. Toronto, Stolars took a shot to the neck. He's out right now. I think it was a puck to the neck, and a bad injury there for Stolars. Also, winner yesterday with the Tampa Bay Lightning on the road there against Edmonton, 5-2. Lightning lit up Edmonton. They're already dealing with Draisaitl's absence here now for the rest of the year, and you wonder how it's going to affect Edmonton. I mean, those two guys, Edmonton, great team. I mean, they've been there every year, giving a great battle in the West. But, man, to lose a top player like that, you got to wonder how it's going to affect them there for the rest of the season. They're in the playoffs now. They'll probably get in, but that is a tough injury to deal with a team like that. So, all right, so we did have those winners there, but NBA we were able to score for sure with a few winners here on the morning steam. I think over in the Oklahoma City game now, it was 21 points when we were on the show, but closed 21, so maybe it was a push. But Oklahoma City, and they had that fight there. I guess the Wizards, hey, don't mess around with the Wizards, all right? If they can't beat you, they'll fight you. And the Thunder shouldn't be getting mixed up and stuff like that. How does that even happen? So they took off that Newcastle goal, and it was still 1-1, and now Sunderland has just scored to take the lead in the 90th minute here right now here on the road. And what a stunner this is going to be here. Sunderland is going to end up winning this game probably with this late goal right now. Other winners for me yesterday on the morning steam include the Charlotte Hornets, minus the points there against the Memphis Grizzlies, and also did have a winner here on the show with the Atlanta Hawks over the Golden State Warriors. But it was also a little bit of a tough day there for me on in the NBA. Good thing I had college ball. I had a push there with the Clippers, about all I could talk about. Sixers and Jazz, we did have the winner on the over there in that one. And we scored with the Bucks and the Suns under in that one, in an upset there as the Bucks won an important game against the Phoenix Suns. All right, I think that's enough of the preview and reviews. We do have some golf today, of course, final round action. Oh, I want to mention one exciting. I don't know if you were up in the middle of the night like I was, but, I'm always covering live golf because no one else will. Bryson DeChambeau with the sudden death win over John Rahm. You want some star power? I mean, there it is. Basically the two guys that are still carrying the tour. We're both 26 under there in South Africa. A real tough course, but it was DeChambeau with a win over John Rahm there as he birdied the first playoff hole and beat John Rahm. Bryson DeChambeau won the Live Golf Africa there, and I think his team won as well. They have a team competition, if you didn't know, every week. There you can follow your favorite teams. I don't know how you decide to, but all right, and we will have golf later today here at the Valspar. In fact, they're underway here in the final round. Nobody's really making much of a move up the leaderboards just yet. They're off to just a few holes here to start right now, but you do have Sung Jae leading by 2 strokes over David Lipsky, Brant Snedeker, also 2 strokes back, Matt Fitzpatrick, Marco Penge, 3 strokes back in there, and those are really, I think it's going to be tough for anybody beyond that, those top 5 guys there, because you got 6th place. You got Dumont 5 strokes back. So I'm not sure. You do have to get hot there, and some people would have to calm down. But we'll see out at the Valspar today on the golf scene. Whittle it down here also in Miami for some tennis here this weekend as well. Getting down to the big names a little bit, but there's still a lot of great matches today, including some close ones there and some top players today. Alcaraz and Korda, interesting match there. Big favorite, of course, for Alcaraz in that one. And how about hot American youngster Eva Jovic taking on Talia Gibson, who knocked off Naomi Osaka yesterday, and she's been kind of the story here this week for the ladies down in Miami. Talia Gibson here, how will she fare as a dog against Eva Jovic here? One of the hot matches here early on this morning. All right, I think we can get rolling here right now. You do have some soccer scores. Maybe you can see them behind me here as they roll by today with some of the action here across the pond this morning. In major competitions there, we already saw Como rock Pisa 5-0 in Italy there. There's 5 matches in Major League Soccer today. 2 matches coming up in Italy right now, top of the hour. Lazio and Bologna, Verona and Atalanta. Later on, we got 3 more in La Liga. Here as well, Bundesliga, 3 matches featured here, including a match coming up here at the bottom of the next hour, and France is about to get underway as well, Monaco and Lyon. All right. Okay, any more comments from the chat? Not really. It looks like we're getting ready to start the preview, start the show. We got 8 games in college basketball to go over here, and I want to hear from you. How I do it is I run my little preview, talk about the game, and then you're welcome to comment. And yes, I'll set up I'll try to set up right now the giveaway tool, so maybe we can give away the picks here from me. I'll tell you right now how it goes here. Oh, right, I did it finally. So we're all signed up. Someone will win the drawing. You can get more picks from me every day here at winnable.com/Ramon. I really appreciate all the subscribers over there. We got a few dozen of you, and this is how you support me here on the show. You heard Mike talking about it. He says, if I win this fight, I'm going to send you some hot dogs. Oh, thanks a lot, Mike. That's really nice. What you can do is support me by subscribing to some more picks here on the Sports Money Network. I try to give you some great picks here on the show every morning. We're kind of limited to the fact that we do the show at 9 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning here on the East Coast, 6:30 Pacific. So sometimes it's not the easiest to pick winners. We don't have that late information on key injuries. And what I do is I have a little package that I send out in several sports, a couple pick packages per day when you subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon. And you can follow me and get more picks from me. They come usually 30 to 60 minutes before game time. You can also sign up for free at winnable.com and get free picks from me as well. There's nothing wrong with those. We had some winners yesterday with our free picks. It was mostly a light card for me because, it does take my UFC does take up a big portion of the Saturday action, and I try to do a good job and handicap that card. But yesterday we did have some additional winners there yesterday. with 1-3 though in the NBA, but I did have the over with Atlanta and Golden State as a winner yesterday. I could only bring home one there in the NHL. We had a push on one of them, but we did have the Ottawa-Toronto game, as I mentioned, to go over yesterday. So a little bit light there. Man, my ladies card, what happened there? I was so hot and then kind of ran into it there last night. Couldn't bring it home, but I'll try again here with the ladies today. And again, we had a decent card, I thought, there in the UFC. So go over to winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Again, this is how you support me here on the channel for just 41 cents a day. It's even cheaper. If you subscribe to a 1-month package over there for I think it comes out to $16.95 after you use that promo code. I put on an extra week. I control. I see who signs up, who is donating, who's subscribing to the picks. You get a week, I put on 3 extra days. You get 5 days, I put on 2 extra days. You buy 3 days, I put on an extra. You buy 1 day, I put on an extra day. You buy a month, I put on an extra week. That's how I do it. I just want to get a lot of people signed up, interested in my picks. I work very hard on it. This is what I like to do, and I like to have you guys here with me. And you don't always have to agree, but what it does do is it keeps you in the fold. You guys have busier lives than me. I just sit here. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like me, just sit here all day betting games. But it keeps you in the loop. Lets you know when games are coming up, especially different sports. So, look, I love to pick the major sports, but over there you get some tennis picks from me. You get some other sports from me in there as well, including overnight action from Australia and England as well. So check me out over at winnable.com. All right, thank you everybody for being here today, and let's go with the previews here and get rolling with our games here. 8 games in the NCAA tournament. I can't wait to talk them with you. I want to hear your picks as well for the matchups. How about Miami Hurricanes taking on the Purdue Boilermakers here on Sunday with Miami. They're getting the points here. They're getting 7.5 in this one right now. Maybe, oh my goodness, are they getting 8 here at some of the books now? 7.5 or 8 total, maybe 147.5 here in this one. Purdue's got the hot hand here right now with a bit of a winning streak. Miami, did lose 2 out of 3 before heading into the NCAA tournament, but they got a pretty good team with the Reno, and Purdue obviously has the top assist man in the history of college basketball on their side in Smith. So they've definitely got top tier players here. It's kind of been a culmination again for Purdue. Don't forget, they remember how good they were last year. They had the big man Zach Edey, but here we are now with a new fangled Purdue team and this has been a pretty good run here right now for Purdue. They came in off of the win over Queens College, 104 to 71. That ain't no Cinderella there. And also here you have they beat Michigan, of course, 80 to 72. Had a win over UCLA. Didn't cover, but that's all right. They're still playing well coming in here right now. Let's take a look at some of the trends with these two teams coming in as Sunderland has knocked off Newcastle here in that goal by Brobby in the 90th minute. Miami coming in here 18-15 against the spread. They're 9-3 against the spread away from home, 6-4 against the spread as an underdog for Purdue. They kind of struggled with the number, no doubt about it. 14-20 ATS overall, 11-18 against the spread as a favorite, and we're making them lay a few baskets here for sure at 7.5. These two teams met back about 6 years ago. Was 58-54. Miami got the win over Purdue. Miami has gone under in 7 of 10 games as an underdog, but they are 19-14 to the over overall. So you could look at it 2 ways, but you're dealing with a team here like Purdue. They're, I want to say a considerable underdog, but hey, they're the underdog. I'm, coming into this one. All right, for the Boilers here, let me get my notes straight here. For the Boilers here, in addition to that 5-game winning streak right now, and hey, they were relatively stress-free there in that tournament win, but they are a top 10 rebounding team in the country. Now, so is Miami. You're trying to outline here some of the best rebounding teams because, like I said, dominate these boards, and you're probably going to win these games. Purdue 11-1 in non-conference games. They were 12-8 versus top 50 teams last 2 years in the NCAA tournament. The 2 seeds are 6-2 ATS heading into this weekend's action anyway. Purdue has won its last 6 second-round games in the NCAA tournament. Hurricanes 9-3 here in their last 12 overall. Miami did play for their starters over 34 minutes in that game against Missouri as they won it 80-66. Looked convincing there. We were on Miami in that one, despite the fact that Missouri was playing with a somewhat of a home state advantage there anyway. Miami just 8-7 versus teams ranked in the top 60. They are also a top 10 team on the rebounding boards there. Miami's won its last 4 second-round games. So 2 teams that are familiar with this second round, 2 teams that usually have been winning a little bit in the second round are clashing here today in the NCAA tournament. I want to hear from you in the chat with your picks as well. I'll make my pick here in this one between Miami and Purdue. First game of the day. Purdue's gone like over here in 8 of their last 11 games coming into this one. Miami 6-2 against the spread in their last 8. They went 5-1 against the spread their last 6 against Big Ten competition. Purdue just 3-6 ATS in their last 9, despite the fact they've won 5 in a row. And they've also won 8 straight games against ACC competition. I want to hear from you in the chat. Let's hear what you have to say with the picks. All right, here we go. Cash Kane there. He has Purdue on the money line. James Farm likes the under in this one. Greg likes Purdue to win by 7. Eric Acevedo is here today. He says Purdue on the money line. And there's Miami plus the points for Steve there. And hey, here's Justin stealing my thunder here. I'll just say it right now. I'm on the over in this one with Purdue and Miami. That's my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. Give me the over in this one with the Canes and the Boilers here. Our Thompson's on Miami. Justin's on Miami as well. Nuke is on the Canes. We need Cash Kane on the Canes, but he took Purdue money line. Eric's on Miami here. He's going to buy a few points, it looks like. Blake's on Miami. Greg says, Miami's tough. Don't sleep on him. He was a big Zach Edey fan. He was a big dog fan. That's who Greg likes there. I didn't know Greg went back to the big dog there. I always thought Greg was younger than that. All right, and 9 Legacy, he likes the Hurricanes to cover in this one. So looks like, I think in the chat, mostly Miami there. They've been, like I said, they've been the better cover, so maybe that's part of it here. Robert on Purdue, big crypto Purdue. Here comes the Purdue all of a sudden. Look out. That might have evened it up all of a sudden there with Jimbo also on Purdue. So, whoops, look out. Maybe it is a split in the chat. I'll take the over, and this one is my official pick here on the Morning Steam Show, and we are off and going here. And we got great games today. Let's face it here. We got Kentucky taking on Iowa. Those cats will rock you here. Now, Iowa State here, just to, get it going here now. Iowa State a little bit banged up here coming into the game. Now, Kentucky's had their own share of injuries coming in, but it feels like they got a little bit healthier there. We saw some of their guys actually in the game there yesterday, so feels like they got a clean bill of health except for their long-term injuries. But Joshua Jefferson, I think I called him Justin yesterday because why wouldn't you? Joshua Jefferson, the Iowa State star, it has an ankle turn. Look, he's been upgraded to questionable. I think that means he does make the game here today, but he's still got to overcome the injury, clear it here, and get going. A little bit of steam here, everybody. Wichita State today against Oklahoma State in the NIT. We're going to do our steam show, of course. Wichita State getting 3.5. It's down to 2.5 here right now. Wichita State getting the steam there in that one. Man, I almost want to make a pick here because I think Wichita State's going to win. You guys, don't you? Even though it is in Stillwater. Can I make a pick on the NIT? I said I wouldn't do it because we're not going to be previews because we're watering down we don't want to overshadow any NCAA games. I'm taking Wichita State. That steam came in. I think they could win that game against Oklahoma State right now. They've been so good. They look like one of the better teams in the tournament here, actually. I'm going to take Wichita State to win over Oklahoma State. They're getting a couple of points there right now. It's down to 2.5 there in that one with that steam. So there it is. There's my NIT coverage also. All right. Let me roll, though, here with this one, Iowa State and Kentucky. So we'll see what is going on with Jefferson and his ankle. Their big man in there. Cyclones just 7-5 in their last 12 games after that 21-2 start. They're 28-7 overall. Still favored here over UK. Maybe UK's been a little up and down. They shouldn't be, right? Look, if you went out there, I don't know. I think they had some things about the NIL. Does this Kentucky team, are they getting paid more than anybody? I mean, if they did, they're not coming through. But I think they said they're the leader in the NIL money. I don't know if it's an unofficial thing or what, but you're getting all this money. I guess they got fat pockets and it's not carrying over to the court. They should be winning more than this at 21-13. You can't have that with Kentucky, but you know what? Maybe, just maybe, this might be the spot now if Iowa State's a big man can't go in there. We'll see. Cyclones did go 14-0 in their non-conference games this season. Cyclones, number 4 in the country in forcing turnovers. They didn't have much stress there. In their game, they really didn't have too much stress there in their game against Tennessee State on Friday. That we had Iowa State to blow them out in that one. Under Coach Otzelberger, Iowa State 2-1 straight up and against the spread in 3 tournament trips to the second round. For Kentucky here, just 5-6 in their last 11 games. They did go to overtime in that previous victory there. They had some stress in that game against Santa Clara. Hey, Wake Forest is taking the steam right now against Illinois State in the NIT. Wake Forest was 7, but right now they're quickly up to 8 here. Wake Forest taking the steam. Hey, in the NIT, we're going to cover it. You want to bet it? We're going to cover it here. All right, for Kentucky, they are not great on the boards. Now, that could be of concern. Like I said, if you want to have a rebounding situation here, Kentucky top 75 in offensive rebounding. They went just 9-12 against teams ranked in the top 50 here. Wildcats, though, top 60 in effective field goal defense. They have some flaws for sure, but Kentucky's won 5 of the last 6 second round games. It feels like the matchup for them is decent here against Iowa State. They might be up against the right opponent. Like I said, they're at least getting the points. Maybe they won't get over the hump here against Iowa State in this one, but Iowa State 15-9 against the spread as a favorite. Kentucky really just a 50-50 proposition ATS this season. Do have one more little steam coming out right now with Texas Tech and Alabama game total under here. I'm not sure I'm buying it. This thing, hey, look, they might be doing you a favor right now. The total's down to 163. We'll preview the game. I think you already know about it. I mean, Texas Tech and Alabama. All right, maybe the dynamic of the matchup doesn't favor it to be a high-scoring game. Whatever. You might look as a discount here right now. I'm not saying that, maybe you do like it under, and you better get on it now. The steam is coming in on the under in Texas Tech and Alabama, 2 of the top 3 three-point shooting teams in the country. And remember, the Sharps don't – here's the thing, right? They always say the Sharps, they don't pay attention. They don't care about the games. They just care about the numbers. So sometimes they put their money in the wrong spot. Maybe it will go under, but I'm pretty sure those are 2 of the top 3 three-point shooting teams. Maybe not overall. They're up there in percentage-wise too, but they shoot enough 3-pointers, right? Maybe they're going to clank them off the rim, and that's the what they're doing here today. But we'll get to that game. It's the late game, so we'll get there. All right, let me know what you have here in this one, though, with UK taking on Iowa State. Iowa State's 8-15-1 to the under as a favorite, and that's why I'm going under here in this one with UK and Iowa State. Let's see how you have it here in this one. I'll go to the chat, hear what you have to say in this one between the UK and Iowa State. Today, I want to hear from you in the chat. Make your picks and flash them up on the screen here. But just some of the trends here anyway between these two. For Kentucky here, 10-4 against the spread in their last 14 coming into this one. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7. They've won 13 of 20 overall. Kentucky just 1-4 straight up in their last 5 against Big 12 competition. Iowa State 4-1 in their last 5 straight up, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. The only game they didn't win was, of course, to Arizona, but they covered, getting 3 points. Iowa State's gone under in 13 of their last 20. They have gone over in 4 of their last 5 against SEC competition right now. And we have some breaking news here right now. Breaking steam. It's on the over in this game right now. What's going on? I just said under. Didn't they hear me? Didn't they hear what I said? Were they mocking me here at this point? This steam is coming in on the over right now. Take a look at your books. I'm not making this up. We don't make this stuff up on the morning steam for clicks. It's up to 147 right now at Bovada, 147 under 15. It is a clear move to the over right now. The line service just sent it out. You heard the steam move. It's this game. I just said go under because Iowa State is 8-15-1 to the under as a favorite. UK is 5-7 to the under as a dog. But the steam's coming in on the over here. You know, we've got to tell it like it is. Let's go to the chat and see what you think now. You could change your mind if you like the steam. And you were saying, I'll just go with Ramon. Oh, the steam's in? He must be wrong. Let's go to the chat. Wow. Sharks. Here we go. Hey, I had a good day yesterday. Better watch out, these sharps. Okay. Oh, wow. Greg's older than me. Oh, my God. Greg. Well, they're almost the same age, but that's cool. That's cool. No wonder we get along so good, Greg. That's amazing. Okay. You probably look better than I do. Here we go. Jimbo's from, I would say this. Hopefully nobody leaves me here, but we do have the oldest chat in the game here because of me. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'm looking for the Iowa State stuff here. Here's SF Niner here on Kentucky. Cash Kane says Iowa State on the spread. Here comes Noli. What's he going to do? I haven't scrolled down yet. Does he have a pick in there for us? And is it going to be an under? Is it going to be on that first game? He blessed us there. Greg, you're only as old as you feel. Oh, no. I was having trouble last night. I was doing a show. I feel a lot better. But I'm not a back problems person we were sitting on the show yesterday and I don't know, I was kind of wincing a little bit and then tried to do another show last night and I had back problems and I don't have back. I feel fine now. I actually had I had to take an extra long nap here in the middle of the night after the show. Didn't get to watch all that there with the Live Tour and woke up there and saw the playoff, but I was having a little bit of problems. I actually feel a lot better now. A lot of energy. Okay. SF Niner is on Wichita there in that game against Oklahoma State with me. Robert's on the Cats here. Don't forget the Cats. They will rock you here. Don't forget. See here also we got
major line move.
Let's see here. Justin is on Kentucky here. I remember Let's see who else is here. Cash King did go on Wichita. There's Greg, 74-71, Iowa State. I think that favors Kentucky. Here's R. Thompson, Kentucky. Greg says Kentucky on the over. Blake is on Kentucky. It seems like we're on Kentucky here right now. And don't forget, they'll kick a little tush, and then it's back on the bus. Dig. We are Kentucky. Remember that? Remember when Robert Goulet sang about Kentucky? Iowa State to cover, says Dine Legacy. Iowa State in the under for Steve. Greg Gibson says Kentucky has a horse and a shoe in their locker room, and it's right up their butt, apparently. And Jimbo on Iowa. Big Crypto, Iowa State. Greg says Kentucky finds a way at the end of the game there. Going to go under here, says Cash Kane. Greg there with his prediction there. Jimmy says, don't be late. Take Iowa State. -5 and over 145. Fernando is here. He's got Iowa State. They're right on the line, it looks like there. Maybe a little bit of under. And here, Nasty Nate here on Iowa State in the first half. Thank you to Nate for being here. And Greg says it'll be a Kentucky Derby in there. Got to make my Kentucky Derby pick here soon. A lot of big races were this yesterday, and I'll catch up on that. All right, I guess that's it for this one. Keep it moving here right now. We're only in third game, and it's the one we've all been talking about with St. John's taking on Kansas here, and the Johnnies come in as a hot hand here all of a sudden. Kansas has won 3 of 4 coming into this one. It's a 3.5 and 1. 3.5 and 144 with the St. John's here on the here in San Diego. Out of Viejas Arena, where I used to hang out a lot. St. John's here with the win over Northern Iowa, 79-53 in their opening game, covered 10.5. Right now, they're covering them all. Not only is St. John's winning, but they are covering spreads here left and right. They've won 7 straight, covered 5 straight right now. They've gone under in 10 of their last 11 games. Have St. John's coming into this one. Kansas 2-4 ATS in their last 6. They've won 13 of 15, but they've gone under in 13 of their last 18. St. John's has gone over in 5 straight against Big 12 competition, but Kansas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 against the Big East. Kansas, meanwhile, comes in here off of the win over Cal Baptist. They didn't cover. We had Cal Baptist in that game plus the points, so they were able to cover the 14 there in that one. Of course, Kansas also lost to Houston before that. Kansas is 20-13, though, against the spread. Pretty good numbers, but just 6-6 against the spread as an underdog. So St. John's covers, and they cover as favorites. Kansas covers, but struggles more as an underdog here. Hey, we got some women's steam coming in. I know you guys were liking that yesterday. Texas Tech and LSU under 145. Steam coming in here right now on the ladies' side. I'll have a package of games here for the action today with the ladies. I'm going to try. I'm a little frustrated there after I was looking good there and I got swept, reverse sweep there. But Texas Tech and LSU, man, it's quickly down here to 143. These are a little slower. You know, you can get on some of these if you want to chase the steam a little bit. All right. These two teams, solid unders, no doubt about it. So, look, it's 144, but Kansas is 11-22 to the under this season. St. John's 13-21 to the under. St. John's has been, like I said, going under in all these games right now, pretty much every game. They're also 10-19 to the under as a favorite. Kansas 4-8 to the under as a dog. I'm going to take St. John's here to win and cover, but, man, this one feels like it could be in the 130s here possibly with these two teams. 144, it's a little bit daunting. Let me see what you guys have to say in the chat in this one. St. John's and Kansas. Want to hear from you in the chat. All right, let's roll with it here. You know, St. John's, they dominated Northern Iowa in that game in the round of 64. Kansas 5-5 in their last 10 straight up. Right now for St. John's, they'll need their man, Zubi Ajayafor to win those inside battles.
Final.
And, Oziah Sellers also with his 3-point shooting there. Kansas, Darren Peterson, you never know if he's going to be in or out. We make fun of it. He's actually been in there the whole time now over the last 8 or 9 games, not missing much time. Trey White, 14 points, 6.5 rebounds. Flory Badunga, don't forget, 13 points, 9 rebounds a game. The winner will face Duke in the Sweet 16. All right, chat, let's see what you got here in this one. Start off with Cash Kane. He's on St. John's. Justin likes the over, though, in this one. Cash Kane says, even though Kansas is a hard place to win at, don't worry. This one's in San Diego. Nuke is on the Johnnies here by a bunch. And Greg says he's got Kansas here to take it, I think he says today. Also here, Greg says St. John's Providence game. He remembers that game. And that's why he's on Kansas there. LALB is on St. John's. Robert's on Kansas here. Blake's going to lean to Kansas today in this one. I'm taking St. John's as my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Under for LALB. All right, the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Virginia Cavaliers here. A lot of orange. You got the Volunteers and the Cavaliers and a lot of orange in this one. 60 to Tennessee, 22-11 coming in. UVA, 29-5. They're the 3 seed here for UVA. They're coming in off the win over Wright State. We had Wright in that one, plus the points there, 82 to 73. Virginia has all of a sudden clicked in here at 5 straight overs. What happened? I've been talking about, Virginia, they're not an over team anymore, or like everybody thought they would. They're actually an under team this season. Yes and no, right? They definitely have different coaching, different strategy. Maybe it just was the way it was playing out, that they were having so many unders and kind of looked like they didn't look like the old Virginia, but they were playing kind of under games. Now all of a sudden they've gone over here in 5 in a row. Here they've had some big performances, scored 84 against Miami, 81 against NC State, and of course 82 against Wright. For Tennessee here, they've actually gone under in 3 straight. They beat Miami of Ohio 78 to 56. Thanks you for playing Miami of Ohio. Tennessee just 14-19 ATS overall, 10-14 against the spread as a favorite. For Virginia, I guess they're not a favorite here. I thought they were a 1-point dog. Not that it matters. I mean, it's a pick'em game pretty much. So most of the books have Tennessee as a 1-point favorite, but circa here in Las Vegas, the Sharp book does call it a pick'em. So we won't mess with the underdog role here too much. These two teams met in November of 24. Virginia won it 64 to 42. Now that was Virginia basketball. Tennessee won that game 64 to 42 as Virginia at home scored only 42 points. There in that one. Actually, it was in the Bahamas tournament. Actually, it wasn't a home game there for Virginia, so maybe they were eating the conch there. Here, so got to pick them here, and 137. I'll just go first here. I've got Virginia to win this one over Tennessee right now. I think I like their profile here a little bit better coming in over the balls, but let's see what you think. I'll give you some info here as Tennessee has lost 4 of their last 7 games. That they didn't stress it too much there against Miami of Ohio. They were the better team. Now we talk about the rebounding, so I'm going to have to overcome it a little bit because Tennessee is the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country. They're also number 33 in effective defensive field goal percentage. Tennessee went 11-3 in their non-conference games. Tennessee's won 4 out of their last 5 second-round appearances. for the Cavs. They've won 14 of 16, and they won 82-73, as I mentioned. No player played more than 29 minutes. Virginia's got a deep team. They played a lot of guys here. They're 12-1 in their non-conference games. Cavs are number 5 in the country in effective field goal percentage. They went 9-3 versus top 50s. Last 3 years, number 3 seeds, 1-6 against the spread against the number 6 seeds. Like I said, you do have here, right? Virginia, the 3 seed, Tennessee, the 6 seed, but it's a pick 'em. So that kind of says, Tennessee, right? In a way, they're the longer shot, but I don't see it that way. I kind of trust the seeding here in this point. Virginia's in the second round for just the first time since winning the title back in 2019. Virginia's kind of a team where they either get on a roll or they're out. They're one of those teams that lose to the, upstart teams. They've got the famous losses for Virginia in the past. Twice they've been on the short end against high-seeded teams early in there. But right now I'm going to trust them to get it done. The widely reported steam came in on Virginia here, but it really doesn't reflect it, I don't think, in the odds. Let's see what you have in this one with UVA taking on the Vols here. This one is being played in Philadelphia. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. For Tennessee, Jacoby Gillespie, 29 points in that rout of Miami. Meanwhile, for Virginia, Isaiah White had 26 points and 10 rebounds from Feast to Ritter as well. I'm sorry. White had 26 points. DeRitter had 10 points in the game. I think I messed up my notes here. Virginia, they are in the top 100 in that interior defense. That poses a challenge, I think, for Tennessee. Their strength, their front court size, which has kind of been the key there, and their rebounding as well. I think Virginia has the matchup here actually to take these guys on. So look. Gillespie's an all-conference player in 3 different leagues now. Can you believe that? Where he's been in his career. So, look, this is supposed to set up a defensive showdown here, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, Virginia's gone over in 5 straight right now, and usually I'm, me. I mean, where's Noli? Usually I'm on an under in a situation like this, but I think Virginia right now has a little something going. I think they're going to have the offense here to get this one done. The projection of the game, obviously, we'll get the Gibson ratings in there, but, it's supposed to be about 68-68 here, obviously, right? But I think Virginia can get to the 70s here in this one. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Got Virginia money line for Cash Kane. Justin's on the ball on the Cavs here. Cash Kane's on the under. Robert's on the Cavs. Blake. Oh, even Blake. Oh no. Blake. I sometimes worry because I think Blake sometimes is, emotional hedge sometimes, like me. But you got to trust his instinct here and trust his capping. He likes Virginia on the money line there. Greg Gibson here with Virginia. LALV with Virginia. We're treating them like 10-point favorites. Nuke says, take the Cavs. Greg says there's revenge in this one. Yeah, from that game a couple years ago, they scored 42 points, right? Virginia, it's all Virginia, you guys, today, huh? And let's see, Virginia, Tennessee. That was more orange. 9 Legacy has St. John's and Tennessee today. LALB on the under. Virginia for Steve. Wow. Hey, everyone, hit the like button, says Nuke. You guys better listen to Nuke. And otherwise, he'll come and blow up your nuclear facilities. He knows he doesn't need to blow. He knows. Just send Nuke here to maybe he can disarm the Iranian nuclear program. That's what we'll do. We got Nuke. We'll hire him to do it, and he'll go in there and break it all down. I'm sure Nuke knows all about how weak the Iranian nuclear program actually is. Probably could stop bombing now. All right. Robert watching his Villa team here. Am I supposed to get over to the multi? Am I on the wrong feed here? Should I be over on the multi-game feed here right now, so I can watch a few more games at once here because we are into a double viewing here. All right, here we go. Big Crypto does like the under. Like I said, man, I usually would be all over the under in a game like this, but I feel like Virginia's got offense coming here with the matchup. All right, Virginia for Fernando. Rick Barnes says, Chris Warren, don't forget about Coach Barnes here. And Chris says, we are not the world's police. Oh, come on, Chris. We are. We should be the world's police. We're the United States. We have a great moral character. We have the military to do it. I believe we should. I don't want to make you mad here, but I think we should be. I think the United States should be the world's police. Actually, I think we should be in there making sure everyone plays fair and everyone is up to a high standard of respect and order. All right, here we go. Chris is on the over here in this one. And soccer, Jordy's in there with some picks. Real Madrid, Roma, and PSV. Thank you to Jordy. Chris says we have no morals. I don't know. I mean, I think the United States extremely high moral character. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to uphold my end of the bargain. Okay. All right, here we go right now. Next up. Man, we got some games here, don't we? Iowa taking on Florida here in this one. Hawkeyes here, 10.5-point dogs against the Gators. What gives here? Iowa's 9th seeded, Florida number 1 seed, 26-7 coming in. Florida, yeah, you know what? They lost, no problem there to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt turned out to be okay, but they blew out Prairie View, 114-55. That wasn't as impressive as UCLA's 53-point victory there. I guess it was. But UCLA covered 53 points, or covered 51.5 in their women's game yesterday. For Iowa, meanwhile, they beat Clemson 67-61 in and under there for sure. Iowa was struggling, remember, coming into the tournament. Florida, meanwhile, pretty good run here right now. Florida 16-12 against the spread as a favorite. They were favored by just too many points in a lot of those games this year. Iowa just 4-5 against the spread as an underdog coming into this one. Florida's got very solid defense here, top 50 in pretty much every category. For Florida here, they've won 13 of their last 14. That was a relatively stress-free win on Friday night. They're 14-6 against top 50s. Florida shooting 58.5% inside the arc. That's top 20 in the country. Florida only 31% shooting, though, from three-point range. How about when they showed Olivier Roux there again in the last game there? He was the Prairie View kid, was 6'8". And he looked up at Olivier Roux and says, "You tall, man." The 6'8" guy was looking up at the 7'9" player, and he looked like a midget. Gators top 5 team, a top 5 rebounding team this season. Florida last 5 appearances in the second round, just 2-3, believe it or not. There, we know what they did there, of course, last year. And for Iowa here, they've lost 7 of their last 11 coming in. Their 2 best guys did play a lot of minutes in that game, man. They were both in there playing nearly 40 minutes there. I think one guy rested for about 2 or 3 minutes, and that was it. Iowa, number 15 in the country and forcing turnovers. Iowa, top 20 effective field goal percentage team. They went 12-10 against top 100s. They did go 11-1 in non-conference games, but played one of the easiest non-conference schedules in the country, 336 out of 365. This is the first time Iowa's been in the Sweet 16 this century. So this is a little bit of a new territory for Iowa. Yeah, they've had teams in the past, but they really haven't even been to the Sweet 16. So can they get there for the first time this century with a win here over Florida, big 10.5-point dog? Final. Let's see how you have it in this one with Iowa and Florida. See the total on the screen there. We've definitely had a move. Let me see what's going on here with this. We've definitely had a move here within the last few minutes. It says 148 there, but it is clearly lower than that right now. 145.5. And look, I'm taking in this game. I'm going to take the Florida Gators as my pick, and I might not be getting the best of it, but somewhere down the line, I'm going to be on this under. I think for sure. Here, but it's moved here. Man, it's moved here 2.5 or 3 points, but that's the way I see it going actually here to the under. But hey, we got to have another play out there somewhere later on. So I'm going to take Florida as my pick here, but just know that I'm kind of supporting this this move to the under. Let me see what you guys have though here and what you think in this one.
Major line move.
Got charge up the devices here today. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have here with this one. With Iowa here and the Gators. Gators not quite looking like they did last year, but I mean, come on. All right, chat, here we go. All right, and let's go here. Okay, looks like I set some people off in the chat there. Remember when you guys used to make fun of me? Justin here on Florida. Jimbo's on Florida. Cash Kane's on the Gators. LALV likes Iowa in the first half plus the points there. Greg says he's got his prediction there. Florida and the under. Chris says Gators are looking good. They have the pedigree, right? A little bit of experience, certainly. Robert's on the Hawkeyes. Oh, number's too high, though, for Chris. Yeah, no, you know what? I kind of agree here, but I think I think the pattern or the end result maybe is a Florida pulling away a little bit there. I think that's what it feels like. And that Greg said it right there. There it is. Okay. Flake on Iowa, though, here. And over for Dimitri. Iowa first half for LALB and full game. He likes Iowa. Cash Kane here is on the under. Villa's scored, apparently, and I can't get my TV straight here because I didn't set it up good before the show. Because, like I said, I had to rest early. I had to rest extra because of my back. Oh, man. All of a sudden, I feel good, though. Okay. Iowa needs a different route because they're about to get routed. Iowa won the points here for Big Crypto, and Greg says it's going to be a beat down. All right. That's it for that one. Next up, Utah State is taking on the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona's favored by 12 here in this one, total 154.5. This is I think the biggest spread, right, of the games today here with Utah State. Look, I'm a Mountain West guy. I'm not a big fan of the Mountain West this season. Only one team made it, and they did good. They did a good job there in that first game. I'll give Utah State credit. They are the hottest team out of the Mountain West anyway, with the way they closed, beating up on my San Diego State team there, of course. But they were just 1-2 as an underdog this season. Only the third time they've been a dog. Shows how weak the conference really is. Arizona comes in here at the 20-14 spread record, 16-13 against the spread as a favorite, of course, of 32-2 overall. You know how strong this team is here, this Arizona Wildcats team. They've got so much depth. It feels like they've won 10 straight, 6-3 ATS in their last 9. They're playing this one out in San Diego. Utah State's going to be more familiar with the facilities a little bit, but Arizona is going to have the crowd here. A lot of Arizona in San Diego, believe me. Last 3 years, number 1 seeds are 8-4 against the spread in second round games. Arizona is 14-0 in their non-conference games this season. 16-2, of course, against top 50s. Arizona is the number 1 effective field goal defense in the country coming in, and Tommy Lloyd 3-0 in second round games since he's joined the Wildcats. For the Aggies, they have won 14 of their last 17. They did play their starters pretty deep there in that victory over Villanova, 86-76. They got that win. to keep it going. Utah State 10-1 in non-conference games. They're a top 20 team in forcing turnovers. Utah State 16-4 versus top 100s this year, and they're also a top 10 shooting team inside here, but a little bit different opponent going up against this Arizona team when you're getting inside. Last 30 years, basically, Utah State has been to the second round twice. They lost both times. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you have here with Utah State taking on Arizona. Utah State's covered 4 of their last 5. They've gone over in 9 of their last 13. Utah State just 2-5 in their last 7 against Big 12 opponents. Arizona, meanwhile, 5-2 ATS in their last 7. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5, and they're 5-0 against the Mountain West in their last 5 games against that conference. Let's see what you got here in this one between Arizona and Utah. We'll start off with Stacks McKelvey. He's on Arizona here, minus 11.5. And 9 Legacy says Arizona has got to win the championship, so he's going to take them here on the spread, on the total. Nuke is on the Wildcats here right now. You know, you look at that personnel that they bring in here, not only Koa Pete, but Waka, Burries, Bradley. You know, Koa Pete, you look at how good he is, right? I think he's the best player on the team, right? But I don't know if he's the best statistical player on the team here, really. I mean, that's, you got all these other guys, too. Yeah, Utah, Paul Sleb, I definitely like him. Collins, a good scorer. Allen runs the show there. But I'm going with you guys here in Arizona. LALB's on Arizona here, as long as I make it to the game. Craig, Arizona in the under. Blake, Arizona. Wow, look at this. Jimmy's got Arizona as well. Man, everybody Arizona here. Greg is by Utah State. Enjoy your next trip into the Pac-12. Noli's got his here it is. There it is. Miami and Purdue game to go under. There, that one. Noli's got his total here. Well, I guess we already went over that. No wonder Noli held back there a little bit. He didn't want to make me feel bad because I went over. So, man, this first time I had usually Noli comes in and he's a great capper, and I'm usually on the same play of him because I'm on the great capper team. But oh man, we're on the opposite. And he's got an exhibition game in there as well. Robert here though taking the Utah State Aggies. Someone got to take them. All right, I'll take Arizona. Hey, let's keep it moving here right now with UCLA taking on Connecticut here in this one. And, man, poor UCLA got to be in Philadelphia here for these 2 games, but didn't bother them in the first one. You got to figure I hope can referees wear earplugs for the game? Because this is going to be, I mean, you would not want to be assigned to that. Well, maybe they do. Some referees like jerk coaches like these 2 morons. But I think if I had to pick the lesser of 2 evils, I'm going to side with Coach Mickey here, I think, with UCLA. But let's see how you have it here. I'll probably just go to the total with these guys. I want to call them some names just like they do. I mean, you wonder why Connecticut never gets any calls? Because no ref's going to give you a call. You keep calling them names all game. I mean, that's what Hurley does. He hurls insults at you. He feels like, he blames it on, that he goes ballistic because, some people can't control themselves, right? I mean, those people, I just can't stand those people. And that's who Hurley is. Great success. Not going to, dump on him here too much. He's won these titles and whatever, but then he goes on ranting about why he can't get any calls. Let me tell you why. If you can't figure it out, Coach Mickey having the same problem here, really. He's no fun. But You got 7th-seeded UCLA here, 23-11. 2nd-seeded Connecticut, 29-5. Great matchup. Should be an awesome game, actually, right? Connecticut here, 12-22 against the spread this season. UCLA 18-16 ATS. UCLA won but did not cover against Central Florida in their last game. Of course, they covered against Purdue in that Big Ten game. Connecticut, meanwhile, beat Furman 82-71. We were on Furman in that game, plus the 20 points for Connecticut here. So they failed 2 straight, actually. They're 11-18 against the spread as a favorite here. The steam came in on Connecticut and the under, but it really hasn't moved too much, I don't think. Connecticut, you could see some 5s out there right now, and maybe it is mostly 5. Maybe I should update it. 135.5. We definitely need to update the total there. And, well, I guess I got to go with it right now because that's what I'm on. I'm on the under here, and I'm missing out on 1.5, I guess. So let me just make my pick here right now on the under, and then I'll go to you guys and see what you got. But I'm taking the under in this one with UCLA and Connecticut here today. And I want to hear from you in the chat. UCLA is 5-7 as an underdog this season. I'm 5-7 to the under as an underdog here this season right now. UConn comes in here 8-4 in their last 12 after a 22-1 start. Remember, Connecticut did play for their starters pretty extensive minutes in that in that game. It wasn't easy against Furman there for Connecticut. They were kind of goofing around there, 40-36 at halftime of that game. So I think we've seen some vulnerability in this team. Connecticut did go 10-1 in non-conference games. They have a top 10 effective field goal percentage defense, 7-3 versus top 50s this season. UConn, of course, has won 2 of the last 3 national titles. They lost to Florida last year in the second round, right here, and the Gators, of course, won the title. For the Bruins, they've won 7 of their last 9. They also played their starters. At least 3 of them played pretty extensive minutes against Central Florida. Bruins went 9-3 in non-conference games. This is a problem that I have with a guy like Coach Mickey, though, is the Bruins are a top 20 3-point shooting team, shooting 38% this season. They don't rank anywhere close to the teams that shoot the most 3-pointers. Maybe there's a method to that. I don't know. But to me, you're not playing, he does not look at the metric sheet, and that can be a problem. I'm still going to try the Bruins here, I think, but I'm going to go under as my official play on the show. But they really, if you're a top 20 shooting team and you're in the bottom, basically, I don't think they're the bottom half, but they're not even close to the top teams in amount of 3-point shooting, 3-point shots taken. That's because Coach Mickey doesn't like it. He doesn't like the 3-point shot. He doesn't understand if your team makes a lot of 3-point shots, take more 3-point shots. Hope it doesn't backfire against the Bruins, against a team like UConn here. Bruins 8-9 versus teams in the top 60. They also suck at rebounding. They are in the top 300 on the defensive glass. So that will probably work against them here a little bit against Connecticut. Cronin, though, in second round in his career with the Bruins is 3-1 straight up. So let's see what you have in the chat here in this one. And it's going to be Cash gain on, that was UConn the last game. This game here. UConn, UCLA money line here for LALB. Greg says UCLA and the under. Dougie Wise is here today. He's got his free bands play. Thank you, Dougie. Iowa State's his play in that one we just talked about there a little bit. Hey, a little steam in the background. It's in the NIT. St. Joe's and Cal, the late game. Steam to the under here. Oh, man, this is going under. Can I make another play tonight here in the and chase the steam a little bit? I got to go under in that one. It was 149. It's down here to 147.5, and I'll take the under as there's my NIT 2-team plays there. I'll take the under in those 2 late games there in the NIT. I like the under there with St. Joe's and Cal tonight. I'm chasing that steam right now. All right, Bruins here for Robert, and right, Noli's talking about Hurley here, I'm pretty sure, and not so much with Coach Mick. But UCLA here for Nuke. And, right, you get you know what? You get a big ego, right?
Major
Imagine me, imagine if I was successful at all. I would have the most huge ego. Nobody would even be able to stand me. Okay, you guys can barely stand me now. All right, UCLA, UCLA on the spread. UCLA to get the upset, says Big Crypto. How we doing on crypto, man? Look, I might be a fool. I've been buying all this crypto all the way down, figuring it's going to go back up when the war is over. All right. UConn ain't covering that 5. No way, but wouldn't be surprised, Greg says, if UCLA wins. And Blake says they're going to live bet this one. And Greg says he's going to put 30 on the Bruins money line here in this one. Yeah, Bruins money line is going to bring you back some $50 or so. All right. All right, and we'll keep it moving here right now. We got one more, and we talked about it already, right, with Texas Tech and Alabama. Now, look, I don't know why that steam came in on the under, but maybe the total is too high for a tournament game. I don't know. It's actually gone back up here to 164, I think, but what do you think, you guys, with this one? Come on. Texas Tech and Alabama. You got the totals. The steam came in on the under. It's 164 here right now. But you got Texas Tech. Yeah, they're missing their best player, but he's been out for a while now. They've been adjusting to that. They did play their starters pretty heavy in Friday's win. They've lost 3 of 4. Remember, they were on a 3-game losing streak heading in here, but they beat Akron. They beat them handily. They covered the spread there. They are just 10-12 against the spread as a favorite. I think they're still favored here by a point. Maybe we'll just call it a pick 'em though. And they were 16-16 straight up against the spread was Texas Tech for Alabama, 14-18 against the spread. But they were often favored by too many points at home. It's really what it turned out to be. Now, here we go with Texas Tech. They shoot almost 40% from three-point range, the third in the country in three-point shooting. They get 43 points. 43% of their points from three-point shooting. That's third in the country. Meanwhile, for Alabama, they shoot 53% of their shots from three-point range. You know that. That's number 1 in the country. Now, granted, their Holloway was 43.8% three-point shooting, so they are missing him, but they're still going to be shooting threes. I don't see how. I mean, okay, maybe these guys are going to shoot 20% from three-point range, play great defense, and it is going to be a low-scoring game because this is a tournament or something. I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be way over the total in this one, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going over here. Come on. I'm Mr. Under. Well, Noli's Mr. Under, but, I'm always looking under first. I couldn't believe when it was 165. Where's the 170 in this game? Now, Alabama did play their starters pretty extensively in their Friday win. They've won 10 of 12 overall. Texas Tech is 6-9 against top 50s this season. Crimson Tide 11-8 versus top 50s this season. Alabama's in the tournament here for the 6th year in a row, and they've made it to the Sweet 16, at least the Sweet 16 in the last 3 seasons. Tech, meanwhile, has won 4 out of their last 5 second-round games, too. This is I don't want to say a sleeper game. I mean, these are 2 very good programs, but this is actually a very high-level game, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we should take Texas Tech for granted here in this matchup. It's in Tampa here. You're going to have, I think, predominantly an Alabama crowd there. Let's go to the chat in this one, see what you have here. A great way to end up the night with this matchup. Alabama and Texas Tech. For Tech, they'll, let me get my sheet out here. Here we go. For Tech, they've gone under in 8 of their last 12 games. Texas Tech 11-5 straight up in their last 16 against SEC opponents. Texas won Tech has won 12 of their last 18 overall. Alabama 4-2 ATS in their last 6. They've won 10 of 12, just 2-6 in their last 8 against Big 12 competition here. So Alabama, LeBaron Filan Jr., of course, he had 29 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in that win there over Hofstra. Hofstra led the game by over 10 points. One of those sports books that says, hey, if you have the underdog, the double-digit underdog, and you're up by 10 points, we just give you a win. Alabama won by 20 in the game. Aiden Sherrill, 15 points, 15 rebounds in the win as well. Alabama averages just 91 points a game, right? Tech is, like I said, great three-point shooting team. They make 11 three-pointers a game. And Alabama makes 12 three-pointers a game. Let's see, that's 36, 33, 69 points right there. All right, let me hear from you in the chat in this one, and then the college previews are over. We still got to get to the NBA, NHL. Here we go. Red Raiders for LALB, 9 legacies on Alabama. Greg Gibson says Alabama in a buzzer beater. He's got it just right there on the spread. Cash Kane says Alabama on the spread. Justin here, he's got the over in this one. Dougie's going to lean to Texas Tech. Greg's got Alabama and the under. And he says those I don't know if all those Alabama guys are from the country, but I got you, Greg. Alabama money line here for Blake. Could go overtime, says LAOB. That's good enough for him on the over. 9 legacy likes he's got is that Alabama to lose, or was that supposed to be money line without an M? I don't know. Like this one, Bama money line for Robert. I think that's it from the chat. Nuke's got Texas Tech here in this one. All right, that's going to do it. Hey, check me out on YouTube here on Cover the Spread. I've got a show here on YouTube called Cover the Spread. I've got 3 plays up in college basketball. So check it out on YouTube, Cover the Spread here before the games. I've got 3 more plays for you here. If you want to get a few more plays from me and support me over there on that show, check it out. Cover the Spread. I was just named the host of that show a couple weeks ago, and I'm having a good time doing it. They fired me originally, but we're back. We're back there. All right, that's going to do it for the NCAA tournament. All right. We're going to have some women's picks today as well. Let's go to the NBA if you guys are ready. I'm picking 4 games out of the 5 today because 1 game is not qualified. Portland Trailblazers, Denver Nuggets, NBA action here for Sunday. You have the Nuggets here favored by 8.5 against these Trailblazers. What's going on? I mean, come on. The Trailblazers are great. Now, the Nuggets are great too, but it has been Portland here, 3 straight wins all of a sudden again. Portland's in kind of a situation where they're trying their hardest, their darndest right now to keep on working here in the standings because we've said it time and again here over the last few weeks that you really want to make sure you're getting to the 7 or 8 position. 9 and 10 doesn't make it in the play-in. I don't think it's going to change this year. Portland is tied for 8th place with the Clippers here currently. They do trail the tiebreaker, but Portland here is getting 8.5 against these Nuggets. Here, the Nuggets are alternating wins and losses right now. They come in off of a win over Toronto. Did not cover. They failed to cover in 3 of their last 4 games, all as favorites. Meanwhile, Portland 22-18 as an underdog this season. Denver 22-25 against the spread as a favorite. These 2 teams met back on February 20th. Denver won 157-103. I wonder if Portland remembers that. Portland did beat them earlier this year, 109-107 as a 5.5-point dog. These teams will meet again later. Denver in the midst of their own battle right now, trying to get to 4th place. They trail the Rockets by a half a game. I don't know. I think the Lakers have gotten away here, and I think the Lakers are going to come in 3rd place. I don't know if they can. We're down right now, basically, to the last, let's see, 11 or 12 games of the season here right now. So look, the Lakers have a 2.5 game cushion over the Rockets. Yeah, they could still fall out of that, but so many competitive teams, it really takes a real collapse or a hot streak to pass those teams up. Portland here with consecutive wins over Brooklyn, Indiana, and Minnesota. Meanwhile, for Denver, they did beat, as I said, they beat Toronto, did not cover, lost to Memphis. Here, 8.5 points sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Let's see what you got here in this one with Portland and Denver. Good news for Denver. I think Peyton Watson's finally back today. He's still listed as questionable, but I believe his status has been upgraded to questionable or probable here, maybe. Probable. Peyton Watson finally back in this lineup. That's going to make Denver completely healthy here. Portland, Jeremy Grant. Here, he's questionable in this one. Krejci is questionable here as well for Portland. So let's see what you got here in this matchup between the Trailblazers and Portland here today. This one gets underway 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific time. Portland's won 4 of their last 5, just 3-10 in their last 13 against Denver. Denver's won 4 of 6 coming in. Portland's gone under in 4 of their last 5 on the road. Denver's gone over in 7 of the last 8 meetings with Portland. Denver's also gone under, though, in 8 of their last 9 at home. That kind of belies what these two teams are usually up to. Denver 42-28 to the over this season, 29-18 to the over as a favorite. But at home, they are just 15-17 to the under. And Portland is 16-21 to the under on the road and 16-24 to the under as a dog. So even though these two teams are pretty much known as very strong over teams, it feels like in this scenario they're more under. All right, I'm taking Portland here in this one plus the points. Give me Portland plus 8.5. All right, let's see if the chat's ready to go with some NBA. All right. It's going to be Justin starting us off. He's got the Blazers here in this one. 9 Legacy says Blazers on the spread. And it's on the Brooklyn Nets and the Wizards there, I think. Or he's just saying those teams are making money in the tankathon, maybe is what he's saying. Blake here, Portland. And LAOB loves betting those Lakers. Dimitri says he likes Tech back in that other game there. Greg, I don't know what that is. Robert here on the Nuggets, minus the points. Eric likes Boston under today. Thank you, Eric. Good to see you. Irish King, Nuggets first quarter spread. The Lakers own that tiebreaker, LALB says, over those Rockets. Will it be a factor? Greg Gibson here is with his picks. And LALB says Blaze them first half. Eric's on Denver money line here. Greg, Denver in the points. And a prop from Robert says Jamal Murray over. And Greg says he thinks the spread will even go up here for Denver today. I better wait then, huh? Jordy's got Nuggets money line tied in with Jokic on a double-double to get his price a little better today. Thank you, everyone. Let's move on. The Nets and the Kings, make your picks now because that game has not made the broadcast. Let's go to the next game.
Final.
Washington and New York here. It's 20-point spread. We're in the tankathon. Washington has lost 14 straight games coming into this one. Is it 14? Is it 15? I get them confused with Indiana because these two teams have combined to lose 31 straight games. Wizards have lost 15 straight right now. They're not covering either. It's been a huge joke here. Maybe they could, I don't know what, we're trying to figure out how to fix the tankathon a little bit. Maybe if you don't cover the spread, you got to pay a fine or something. Because you'd think, right, you should cover the spread half the time no matter what. We got a goal here for Forrest. All right, let me break this one down. For the Wizards here, they have let's see here.
Final.
1-5 against the spread their last 6 games against the New York Knicks here for Washington. They've 30-40 against the spread overall. Hard to believe they were actually once above 500. 28-37 against the spread as an underdog, 12-21 against the spread on the road. That's in exact contrast of the Knicks, who are 23-12 against the spread at home. Now, the Knicks do have injuries here. We're trying to get the health status of Hart ready to go. He's questionable, though, in this game. Shamet is also out right now. But for the Wizards, we'll see what happens, right? They had the big fight yesterday. I don't think they handed down the suspensions. It's weird how it works, right? Where they got to wait till they get in the league office, before they can hand out the suspensions. You'd think it'd be the next game, because otherwise, you might be able to play against a better team or something like that. Luka, by the way, of the Lakers, is going to get suspended for his excessive technicals. They're trying to get the last one rescinded, but he's going to have to miss a game somewhere, I do believe. Too many T's. Luka got to learn not to whine. For the Wizards here, Trey Johnson questionable, Keyshawn George questionable, Leaky Black questionable, Trey Young out right now. So they're missing more guys. It feels like. I'm just going to probably go in the tankathon here and take the Knicks again, minus 20 in this one. Knicks are 35-37 to the under, but Washington 39-31 to the over this season, 36-29 to the over as a favorite here. Washington is over in 9 of their last 12. They've gone 4-2 against the spread in their last 6. Knicks are 2-5 ATS in their last 7. Knicks have also gone under in 10 of their last 15, but 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Knicks have won 5 straight. I'll take the Knickerbockers here to roll. I'll take them in the tankathon here. Let's go to the chat with this one. Probably should have kept the Nets and the Kings. It's only a 4-point spread, right? All right, here we go. Hey, Stop Geo. Nice to have Stop Geo in the chat today. And Greg says Knicks didn't cover the first game against Washington there. The Knicks did cover against Washington in the last game they played. They won 132-101 as a 13-point favorite, but they did fail to cover in November, 119-112. The Knicks won at home as a 13-point. Oh, no, the Knicks did cover that one as well. The first game of the season, Washington won at New York, I believe. Greg says it'll be 124-103 in favor of the Knicks. Blake says Wizards plus the points in the first half, 12.5. Robert's got the over here. And Jim says Spud's getting ready to go to the championship. Wizards here, first half for LALB. Brunson on a prop here. And Stack says he's got Cat to go 12-plus rebounds today in this one. All right, a couple more here on the late night slate, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5:10 Pacific. Wolves and Celtics here, pretty good game, but you do have obviously Ant missing in this one. Boston's won 4 in a row. Minnesota's won 2 of 3 despite a loss last time out to Portland, 108-104. There at home, Portland got that one. We had Portland in that game. Boston, meanwhile, yes, winners of 4 straight, but just 1-3 against the spread in those 4 games, just laying too many points to some of these clubs like Memphis, Phoenix, and Washington. Minnesota is 14-20 against the spread on the road. Boston's 40-30 against the spread this season, just 17-17 against the spread at home, 28-23 against the spread as a favorite. For Boston here, they've gone under in 11 of their last 15. Minnesota's gone under in 9 of their last 12. These two teams are pretty hardcore unders, although even though Minnesota's 33-38 to the under this season, they are 21-13 to the over at home. And 8-6 to the over as an underdog. But Boston, 25-45 to the under this season, 13-21 to the under at home, and 18-33 to the under as a favorite here. I'm going to take Boston actually to cover the double digits tonight. This one might be unpopular, but I'm going to take the Celtics here to cover in this one, lay the 10 against the Timberwolves. Minnesota is just 5-13 against the
Halftime.
spread in their last 18 games against Boston. That's a 9-year sample size. They're also 3-15 straight up against them. Greg here says 115-104. Boston in the under. Boston first quarter spread. There, Blake is on the under. Robert is on the Celtics here in this one. I'm sure they will smash. And finally, the Raptors will take on the Suns. The Suns with a little bit of a clunker there last night against the Bucks. They end up losing that game, and now they've lost 5 in a row. Has it finally, after I tried to say to everyone, and, I was riding it pretty good there. I think I was right, saying, well, why is everybody fading the Suns? We're going to keep playing them right now. Well, I think those of you that were fading, obviously right now, though, you guys are right now, and the Suns are kind of falling apart. Just 2-7 against the spread. Their last 9 at home. They've lost 5 straight. 4-1 in last 5 at home against Toronto, though. Toronto 4-1 ATS in their last 5 against Phoenix overall. They've also covered for their last 5 games coming in. Have the Toronto Raptors winning covers against Phoenix, Detroit, and Chicago. Against Denver, they did lose by 6, but they got there by the hook. Toronto's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road, 11 of their last 16 overall. These two teams played back in March in their first game. Toronto won at home, 122-115, got the money as a 5.5-point favorite. Phoenix has been a great cover all year. That's why we like them so much, 42-29 ATS. But most of their work comes as a road dog. They still are 20-16 ATS at home and 21-16 ATS as a favorite. Toronto, 19-15 against the spread on the road, but 18-21 against the spread as a favorite. I'm going to come back on the Suns after losing last night. Give me the Suns here plus the points, or maybe to win here. They're getting 2.5. The move has clearly been on Toronto here. They opened 1.5. They're up to 2.5 right now. So, maybe Phoenix is starting to get a little weary after all that success, and they have some injuries coming into this one. Royce O'Neal questionable, Amir Coffey questionable, Grayson Allen questionable in this one. I'll put your plays up, and then we'll go to hockey here, make it quick, and get out of here for the bottom of the hour, hopefully, and get ready for the games today. Thank you for joining me here, everybody. There's Nate talking about those Celtics there and some more picks on the Celtics. All right. And let's see here. Greg said Toronto did beat Phoenix there 2 weeks ago at home. Yeah, they did, and covered. Phoenix first quarter money line here for Irish King. Hey, we've got some more NIT steam for you. We already said Wake got steamed, and now the over is getting steamed in the game between Illinois State and Wake. It was 149, but right now we're seeing the steam coming on the over there. In that one, it's up to 151.5 with Illinois State and Wake Forest steam to the over. Okay. Bobby Mack's on the Raptors here. Justin's on the Raptors. R. Thompson's on the under here in this one. Jordy's will take the Suns and add Booker for 20 points. Get his price up there a little bit. Greg Gibson here. 113-111 is what he says in that one. That's it for the NBA. Unless you got something to say, I'll go to the NHL. We're going to go over all of the games on the NHL card here, 9 games on the docket, but I couldn't find one where there isn't at least some implication to the playoff chase, even in the first game, which I originally had scheduled not to have in there because I do think Winnipeg is probably done. But we've got to talk about, and I believe here, I don't know if we have confirmation yet, but I believe the Rangers' hot young goalie prospect is supposed to start in the game. So I think it's worth a look here to maybe talk about this one. Let me fire up the goalie computer here, though, and see. But talk among the pucksters here is that we are going to see the debut here of Dylan Garand, who comes from he's with Hartford, of course, right now, but they did say that he was going to play sometime this week. I think the week's over here right now, so I think what they're talking about is that he will probably be in there today. I know some sites do have Igor in there, but I feel like it's going to be Garand here to get his first start. I mean, the Rangers aren't going anywhere. Winnipeg's not either, but we are giving them the benefit of the doubt here that they are still alive at this point. They are currently 5 points behind Nashville, so they're not toast here necessarily just yet, but man, it's getting close here as we're down now to basically 12, 13, 14 games left for most teams here this season. So going to have probably a rookie making his first start. He's a highly touted prospect, however. Winnipeg here on the road. Look, Winnipeg's been actually an interesting road team this season, 11, 15, and 6, but they're usually getting such good price. They're nearly profitable. Well, let me see here. I don't want to overspeak it. Oh, no, they're way down here. Probably from earlier in the season. They're one of the worst teams in the league. They're not going to make any money with Winnipeg, I guess, that's for sure. All right, but let's get into it here with this matchup here anyway. Like I said, hey, the Rangers are at home. Starting a rookie goalie here possibly, and we know the Rangers have been terrible at home this season. They've actually lost 3 in a row. So is Winnipeg. Winnipeg is 8-20 as an underdog this season. Rangers are 13-13 as a favorite. That's not great either. But the Rangers are 9-17 at home. Winnipeg 11-16 on the road. Might be a lesser of two evils situation here with this one. Rangers did win at Winnipeg 6-3, but let's see how you have it here with this matchup between the Jets and Winnipeg here, and we'll see who is in goal. But could be Igor today, but they did say sometime this week that this kid would get the start here. So let's see what you have in this one between the Jets and Winnipeg today. I'll go to the chat here. Oops. Here we go. I think I'm on it. Hey, Philly Eagle Flyer, ready for the hockey segment. Rangers game on, first period, full game draw, and the under. Greg likes the Rangers here. Robert likes the Rangers as well. Nine Legacy still on the Celtics game. Robert Thompson's on the under now. Nine Legacy's on the Bucks game. Geez, a Nine Legacy there. All right. Anyway, the Rangers are 11-21 to the under at home this season. 9-17 to the under is a favorite, but Winnipeg is 18-10 to the over as a dog here in this one. But hey, I'm going with the over in this one with the Jets and the Rangers. Give me the over this afternoon. This one starts top of the hour, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. I'll take the over in this one. All right, Mike Humphreys. I just want to get our there. Let's see. He's got went to Sam's Club. Bo Jackson says it's Rocky's birthday, and anybody who follows mascots knows that no one throws a birthday party like Rocky. I don't know if that's Bo just making. Maybe Bo knows what I know, right? That. Out of all the mascots, Rocky has the best birthday party. Mascots from around the country come in. They do a bunch of goofy things. No one is supported like Rocky. He's the biggest birthday party of any mascot, even bigger than the Philly Fanatic. Who's your favorite mascot? Maybe eliminating your home team? I don't know. But, of course, I'm a little biased because I believe that I had the best I'm from San Diego. Everybody knows the chicken was the best. Philly Fanatic, love you. You're awesome. The chicken was the best. And you know what? Mine, no, I don't know. True story. I don't know if it's true. I met the chicken out of his costume in person, and later in my life, not at the time, but my mom said she slept with the chicken. She said, maybe I'm the chicken. All right, the chicken was born after I was born, so don't get carried away here. All right, Damon's on the under here. Ted Giannoulis was the San Diego chicken. Doesn't make too many appearances anymore. He's up there in age, but no one's ever wearing that costume again. It's not like you can get older, you move on to another guy to wear the costume of some of these teams. No one's wearing that chicken costume again. All right, Wolves in Boston under for Damon. Bo loves the Raptors there today in that game against the Suns. Benny the Bull, says Bo. He likes Benny the Bull. Mike says the chicken was the OG. I went to the time, the chicken had a controversy, and He was a propriety of a radio station, okay, in San Diego called KGB. It was a rock and roll station, and KGB sued the chicken. Chicken tried to do his own thing, said, "You know what? Screw you. You're only giving me $50 a game. I'll take that suit and go around and make my own appearances." Well, the radio station said, "Hey, we own the suit. We own the chicken." Chicken went. His mom made him that brilliant, beautiful, with the orange, the red, the chicken suit. It's awesome. It's a great suit, right? And so the chicken goes and does this, and the game that was at the Padre game. Padres were drawing about 10,000 a game. They sucked. The chicken was the best part of the Padre games. They came in 55,000 in that old cement stadium. The chicken comes out there in an armored truck in a giant styrofoam egg, and the egg's shaking, and they're playing 2001: A Space Odyssey. Da-da! The chicken busts out. The crowd goes crazy, and the rest was history with the chicken. And the green monster is what's his name? Wally. Wally, Nate. How are you not calling him Wally's real name there? Wally. Blake likes the chicken. I'm watching the chicken. They had a song about him. The KGB chicken. I was the egg, right, Nate? All right. You can look up that story. You can look it up. Look it up on YouTube. Look at San Diego chicken hatches there. Lasorda punched the chicken. Yep. But the chicken, he egged him on. They actually had a great shtick together there. Let's see here. And Nebraska, Rangers there will lose. 9 Legacy, does that mean Rangers lose, or is your M not working on your keyboard? That's what I'm wondering here. I've never seen you do that before. So, okay, by the way, I'm taking the over here. Let's keep it going. Story time's over. Avalanche taking on the Capitals. Wedgwood, Thompson maybe here. Avalanche favored on the road. But, Capitals they're sneaky good at home, and Colorado has lost 3 of 4 again. They're having those Colorado woes a little bit. They beat Chicago, but whoop-de-doo. They did lose to Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. Washington, meanwhile, 2 straight wins at home over Ottawa and New Jersey. They're 22-11 at home. That's a real good home record for a team like, Washington that probably not going to make it to the playoffs. They're in, mode where they got to start winning right now. They're 6 points out. Colorado, meanwhile, just became the first team to reach 100 points this season and clinch a playoff berth. Colorado 22-7 on the road. Washington just 9-15 as an underdog. Of course, we know Colorado's a better team, but if you're looking for spots here a little bit, maybe this is the Washington spot here in this one, just given the fact that, Colorado's still fighting for first place. I mean, they're only 3 points ahead of Dallas. Washington is in desperation mode. Doesn't feel like they're going to make it. It may be just maybe too little, too late in the end here for the Caps. But Colorado's defeated Washington in 6 of the last 7 games. Colorado's 7-1 last 8 on the road. Washington's gone under in 5 straight. Colorado's gone under in 4 of their last 5. These two teams feel like, these are under teams, right? You got Colorado 13-20 to the under on the road. Washington 14-23 to the under at home. They're 12 overs and 12 unders as an underdog. But again, when, you're basically all your unders come at home, basically, is what it is here. And, they're not always underdogs here against some of these teams, even though they're having a rough season. But against Colorado, they're going to be. And Colorado's 28-37 to the under as they've been favored in every game pretty much. It doesn't matter. So let's see, though, what you have here. Washington has also gone under in 8 of their last 9 games at home. Here we go. With LAOB says Tommy Lasorda punch. He also he called Kurt Bavacqua. He got in a fight with Kurt Bavacqua. Who else did he punch? He said what else? Oh God, Lasorda's had some moment. If you don't know about Tommy Lasorda, you guys, he was quite a guy. Greg Gibson here, Colorado. R. Thompson's on the Avs. Roberts on the over for the Eagle Flyer. Avs third period to team total over. All right, I'm going with the under in this one with Colorado and Washington. Give me the under in this one. Oh, man, the tweet deck goes down at the wrong time. Next up, we're going to go fast here. Predators taking on the Blackhawks. Predators, slight favorite here on the road, $1.15. Make sure I want to double check this. Yeah, $1.15 total, about 6 flat. Feels like here in this one with Nashville, 32, 28, and 9. Chicago, 26, 31, and 12. Nashville's won 3 straight, and they were kind of a team where we're kind of like, they done here. You want to cut them from the show, but all of a sudden, this little 3-game winning streak has propelled them right into the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start today, Nashville's in. They passed the Kings. They passed the Kraken. They passed the Sharks in a week here to get to the second wild card. So they keep going here right now, doing good. Can Nashville keep it going here? They are favored on the road against a Chicago team, which is not going to the playoffs unless they win every single game from here on out, and still might be tough. Predators, $1.15 here in this one. The wins came over Winnipeg, Seattle, and BGK, so not terrible opponents there. We know Vegas is kind of struggling, but Chicago's off of a 4-1 loss to Colorado, as we just mentioned. They did split 2 with Minnesota before that on a home-and-home, winning on the road but losing at home. For Chicago here, they are 13-16 at home this season. Predators 13-15 on the road. What do you see in this one here with Chicago and Nashville? You know, Chicago is 28-41 to the under this season. Nashville 14-19 to the under on the road. This feels more like an under here for me. Nashville's gone under in 9 of their last 13. They've also gone under here in 5 of their last 7 games with the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. I'm going to go under here in this one. I feel like this was a premium, but I'm going to go under here because kind of like Nashville for sure, but give me an under here. Got to make some winners in hockey, man. I've definitely been not too good on the show over the last 3 days. I'm surprised there are 60 people here watching right now. Hurricanes taking maybe, we've had some days. We've had some good days. All right. Hurricanes and the Penguins here. Hurricanes on the road, $1.45, visiting the Penguins here. Good game, man. You got, don't forget the Penguins are the team behind the Hurricanes here right now, but still they've got an 8-point lead on them now. Hurricanes have won a couple back-to-back games here. They're 44-19-6. As good as they are, that's kind of, you got to respect what Pittsburgh has been doing here this season. I know they could be better in the overtimes and shootouts. That's really what's cost them here this season. That's how good they've been in regulation. Pittsburgh here, 17-9 at home. Carolina, I mean, they're great on the road. We know that they're favored practically every time. So this one though, it feels a little like a road favorite here against this Pittsburgh team right now that just trying to stay ahead of Columbus. And look, you don't want to fall out of favor here in the Metro because you've got the Islanders coming right up on you a little bit. So the Metro is kind of hot here right now. So you got to keep winning if you're Pittsburgh here. They are 17-9-8, as I said, at home here this season. So let's see what you got with this one. Pittsburgh and Carolina. Carolina won the first meeting of the last meeting 6-5 in a shootout at home. They also won 12 days ago at home in a shootout 5-4. So the last 2 games in Carolina were both shootouts. Pittsburgh won at home earlier this season 5-1. So Carolina needed all they could get just to win at home in a shootout. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, at home, crushed them. I got to like Pittsburgh in this one. Come on, give me Pittsburgh here. They might win this game over Carolina today. I'm taking Pittsburgh here. And let's see what you guys have. And let's see, I might have missed some of your LALV Met Lasorda. What a treat that must have been. And LALV, did you ask Lasorda what he thought of Kingman's performance? Yeah, I know LALB knows that story too. Anybody want to see a fun clip? Go to YouTube and say, type in what did Lasorda think of Kingman's performance? If you like listening to F-bombs. Blake is on the Preds. Jordy's on the Preds. Back in that game there. I'm just cleaning up the Predators game here. I might be going a little fast here. Lean Hawks and under here in that game for Philly Eagle Flyer. Did I miss all these plays? Bobby Mack on the Blackhawks. Greg Gibson on the Predators here. Andrew K was out there with his metal detector. Yeah, $1.81 today, but I bet you Andrew's got a treasure chest full of goodies that he could probably sell for millions. Greg Gibson here likes 4-3 Pittsburgh, Philly Eagle Flyer on the over. And R. Thompson on the over. Bobby Mack on the Penguins. And let's see here. Okay, great. LALB. I'm a Padres fan, so obviously I still love Tommy Lasorda. Come on. I mean, you talk about a guy who was a great ambassador for the game of baseball. Okay, here we go. Next up, I'm on the Penguins in that one. Blue Jackets here taking on the Isles. In this one, look at this one. Blue Jackets and Isles. Man, you can't get any more important than this. You've got here Blue Jackets sitting here currently with 85 points right now. And, for the Islanders here, they are just 1 point behind the Red Wings for the second wild card, 2 points behind the Blue Jackets in the Metro. So they can tie with the Blue Jackets with the win here, a regulation win. This is the kind of the game of the day in a way. Vegas is playing Dallas next up, but this is an important game. Columbus, remember when they were all hot, then they cooled down? Now they're hot again. 4 straight wins right now over Philadelphia, Carolina, Rangers, Seattle. Islanders have lost 2 straight. They were just on the road for a 3-game road trip. Went 1-2. Thought they played okay on that trip. Columbus 7-0-3 in their last 10 overall. 21-7 is a favorite this year for Columbus, 17-13 on the road. So, but the Islanders have great numbers at home, 18-11 at home, 26-18 as a dog. They've been terrific as well. So, look, close game here. Columbus has all this momentum right now, but the Islanders need it too. The Islanders actually have more wins than Columbus this season, and I think this may be the spot for the Islanders here at a near pick about even money or so. Islanders did win at Columbus back in February 4-3. Columbus did win a December meeting at home 4-2, and the Islanders won at home 3-2. So this wraps up the season series here against this one. I'm taking the Islanders tonight in this one over the Blue Jackets to get a big win here in a big game between two teams very close in the standings. So we're waiting for you guys here a little bit. If you have anything on this game, I know I'm going kind of fast here, but let me read off a few more numbers here, give you guys a moment. Columbus has won 5 of their last 6. They're 5-12 against the Islanders in the last 17. Columbus 8-2 straight up their last 10 on the road. They've gone just 1-7 in their last 8 games on the road against the Islanders. Islanders have gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've won 13 of 18 overall. So I'm taking the Islanders here in this one. Here comes Robert with the over and Philly Eagle Flyer over and a draw. R. Thompson on the over here. Okay, I was talking earlier on another show about the total on this game, and glad to see you guys are kind of leaning over there. I wasn't sure, and I don't know if I'm still sure, but I'm taking your guys' observations into account. Columbus 17-11 to the over as a favorite here. We know the Islanders really good defensive team this season, right? I mean, top 5 or 6 in goals allowed. They really know how to kill those power play opportunities as well. And you're going up against a Columbus team that, as good as they've been, they might be the worst power play offense in the league, right? Next up, good one here, Golden Knights and Stars. Big one, right? 2 hot, good teams. Actually, Vegas isn't hot, but They should be playing a little better right now. They've lost 3 straight. It feels like something's amiss all of a sudden with Vegas here. Losses here consecutively to Buffalo, Utah, and Nashville, and they've been outscored in those 3 games 10-1. Not good. They were favored in all those games. They've lost 7 of 10. They're an underdog here for just the 14th time this season. They're 4-9 as an underdog. Dallas, 22-8 at home, 33-19 as a favorite here. Dallas is just 3 points behind the Colorado Avalanche for first place in the Central. So it just goes to show you got a Colorado team that first team to reach 100, first team to clinch a playoff berth, and Dallas is still right behind them. So Vegas is struggling here big time right now. The price here, though, let me see here. Dallas down to $1.34, $1.45 here in this one. So, look, that's a pretty good price here for Dallas right now, unless Vegas can get it together. Dallas has won 4 straight meetings between the 2 teams, including all 3 so far this year. 4-3, 5-4, and 2-1, with 2 of those obviously coming in Vegas. First one was a 4-3 overtime win. The second one was a shootout win, and the third one was a regulation win when they were at home here. And that was 2-1, and that was back on 12 days ago on March the 10th. So I imagine it'll be a repeat performance here. I'll take the under in this one. Vegas is broken. They cannot score. You're playing Dallas on the road. Hopefully they'll go and get 7 or 8 goals today and break out of a slump, but can't be too thrilled right now with my wagers here, my futures bets on the, I had to tear up my ticket on the Florida Panthers. I'm left with only 3 bets so far now in the futures market in the NHL. The $20 to win 820 on Buffalo. I've got 50 on Vegas to win the Western Conference to win 250, and 50 on Vegas to win the Stanley Cup to win 600. That doesn't seem like it's going to be happening here the way things are going. I might have to pick a new Western Conference team in the futures market. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Not much here with the total, but I'm going to go under because of the way I portrayed it. I don't think there's a lot of trends necessarily in this game that kind of point to the under. Actually, Vegas has gone under in 7 of their last 8 and 5 of their last 6 on the road. Dallas and Vegas have gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home, so maybe there is something to it. Dallas also had a few unders here of late, so yeah, I'm on the under. They went under in that 2-1 game at Minnesota the last night, so it is a back-to-back here for Dallas, but Vegas also is on the back-to-back here as they lost that game at Nashville last night. Dallas has won 10 of their last 12 at home and 15 of their last 18 overall. Vegas just 3-9 in their last 12. All right, here we go. We got, do I have the game right here, or am I on the wrong game? Disappointing week for LALB. Philly Eagle Flyers on the Stars. R. Tomps on the Stars. Stars can't trust the Knights right now. LALB will take them under here for Blake. Roberts on Dallas. A few more here. We're going to wrap it up on Sunday. Going to be a great sports betting day. NASCAR and Formula One, I think, are off. Are off this week. Okay, here we go. Next up, Sabres taking on the Ducks. Oh, man, these Sabres, how can you go against them? Ducks are at home here. They are a slight favorite, but gosh. In fact, it might be a pick 'em here right now in most books. Yeah, you know what? It is a pick 'em for the most part. If anything, just a few books are listing the Golden Knights here. By the way, did get an update here from the Jets and the Rangers today. Dylan Guerin will make his first start here at the top of the hour for the Rangers today. So just in here, just the last couple of minutes, Guerin will make the start today for the Rangers here. In fact, the game is kind of moving here a little bit right now. It's been taken off the board at Bovada here. Now it's reissued 122, 6 over 22. Okay, what do you think here, though? The Sabres come in, just having won 4 in a row again, tearing it up here. Won 3 straight on the road over Vegas, San Jose, and LA, outscoring those opponents 11-1 right now. It's getting only better. And by the way, the Sabres go under in every game here because of their incredible defense right now. Sabres have won 9 of their last 10. They're 22-11 on the road, but Anaheim's 22-10 at home. Sabres, like I said, it's a pick 'em here in this one. Sabres are 15-19 as an underdog, to the under as an underdog, 16-20 to the under as an underdog. 16-20 to the under on the road. Anaheim 20-14 to the over at home. 15 and also 40-29 to the over overall this season. Man, I'm getting a little weary here. These two teams met in their first meeting back in January in Buffalo. Buffalo won it 5-3. Like I said, they've won the last 3 meetings overall between these two teams. Anaheim comes in here off of a 4-1 road win at Utah last time out. Let's go to the chat, I think, here in this one before I can't talk anymore. Buffalo here has won 12 of their last 13 overall. They've won 5 of the last 7 against Anaheim. They've won 7 straight on the road. Buffalo's gone under in 5 straight. Anaheim's gone under in 8 of their last 11 here right now. And 5 of the last 6 under at home. Anaheim just 2-6 at home in their last 8 games against Buffalo. Yes, Anaheim's won 10 of their last 15. They're still looking pretty good here. I believe Forrest has just scored another goal right now to take a 2-0 lead here over Tottenham. For the Ducks here, first place in the Pacific. Buffalo, first place in the Atlantic. Anaheim is on 80 points here currently. That's good for a 3-point lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Buffalo's on 94 points right now and lead Tampa Bay by 4. I'm going to take the Buffalo Sabres because that's what you do. I mean, until it ends right now, I don't know. Hey, look, I'm rooting for Anaheim here. Really like the Ducks. Hope they do well in the playoffs, but I'm not getting in the way of this Buffalo team. But you look at all these unders, it feels like, too. Don't forget, Anaheim's been an overall season, right? I mean, they've been one of the highest scoring teams. But, like I said, under in 8 of 11, under in 5 of 6 at home. And now you're taking on a Buffalo team that is definitely playing great defense, and that's what's carrying them. Let's see what you got here in the chat. It's going to be
final
under here for Blake, I think. Oh, that might have been the last game. Hold on. Andrew, nice. Thank you to Andrew. We're going to have a good tournament here. Bet the Sabres until they lose, says Blake. Cash Kane says Ducks puck line. Good price, though, no doubt. Not going to criticize that. You got a great price here on this puck line, over $2 today. Art Tom's on the Sabres and Jordy on the Sabres on the money line. A couple more here, and we'll be out. Going to be the Lightning taking on the Flames here in this one. Look, Lightning here with my man Jonas Johansson in goal today. Tampa Bay, second place, as we said, just 4 points behind the Flames right now. The Flames do, how you guys say it in the chat, suck. But you know what? They've had actually a winning record at home this season. No matter what you say about, bad on the road for sure. But at home here, they are 18-12 this season. Tampa Bay, 23-9 on the road. We know how good they are. They did win the first meeting 5-1 at Tampa Bay for their 3rd straight win over Calgary. They swept last year's series 11-3 in the 2 games. For Calgary here, look, they do have a decent offense at home for some reason. They're able to get it done. They're toast right now. They're not going to the postseason. Lightning here, much more important game for them. Still laying a pretty hefty price here on the road at $1.70 or so. Against a decent team like Calgary that does kind of hang at home a little bit. Puck line, though, probably still a little bit too high to even want to consider. Calgary is over in 8 of their last 10. Tampa Bay is 32-26 to the over as a favorite, 20-16 to the over on the road. Calgary's gone over in 4 of their last 6 with Tampa. Tampa's gone over in 5 straight on the road. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Tampa's won 9 of the last 13 meetings overall between the two teams. That is, however, a 6.5-year sample size. Calgary's dropped 8 of their last 12 overall, but 4-2 in their last 6 games at home. Tampa Bay has won 4 of 5 coming in. Kind of a tough game, I think, here. Might be easy to just go with Tampa on the money line, but I don't think there's much value to that, right, at $1.75. And, Calgary does, stun a team here and there. They just are coming off wins over Florida and St. Louis here at home. Those are non-playoff teams, so for sure. Let's go to the chat. We've got, hello, Textiles. Hello, Textiles. Blake says go over in this one in the Flames game. I think that's what I like here in this one, actually. But let me take a look here. I kind of want to take the Flames, but let's see, what's that Flames puck line? It's probably minus $1.75 at least, or $1.80, I'm sure. 170 here. I'll just take the over here. Look, it's up to 6.5 under, so it's not my favorite play, but it'll be my free play here. I'll go over with Tampa and Calgary. All right. Lightning here for Jordy. One more game, and that's it. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It's the Kings on the road taking on the Mammoth. Kings feel broken right now, too, with back-to-back losses here in games that they really needed to win. They lost to Philadelphia. They lost to Buffalo. Okay, everyone loses to Buffalo right now, but the Kings are 10-18 as an underdog this season. Utah, 26-19 as a favorite. Kings are a great road team. We know that. 18-9 on the road here, and they need a win bad. So maybe this is where they get it. This is where they do their job on the road, and that's where they get their points right now. I don't know if I want Utah at this price at $1.75 or so. I mean, I might be forced to take the Kings. Hey, guys, there's some steam coming in right now on the first NC2A game of the day. And, we heard Noli give out the under in the Miami-Florida game. And I said, bummer, I liked the over in that game. But Noli was on the under, remember. And right now the steam is coming in on the under in this game, Miami and Purdue. It was 148. Game starts here in a half an hour. And it's down to 146 right now. There's the move. Also right behind it, another move in the NCAA tournament totals with St. John's and Kansas to the over here in this one. These two massive under teams right now. This total has moved higher from 144 to 146 right now. Steam to the over with St. John's and Kansas. Okay, well, they're fading Ramon here, those Sharps today. All right, Kings on the road, taking on the Mammoth here. I think I'm on the Kings in this one in the late game against the Mammoth at plus $1.45 or so, maybe $1.50, right? The Kings terrific on the road this season. They lost 2 in a row, but they did beat the Rangers on the road recently, beat the Islanders on the road. They just play better on the road, it feels like right now. For the Kings, they are 8-0 in their last 8 games against the Utah Mammoth. Also, Utah just 2-5 in their last 7 games overall, 1-5 straight up in their last 6 at home. So they're going through some woes. Utah's gone under in 8 of their last 11. Kings have gone under in 8 of their last 10 on the road. The series has gone over in 6 of the last 8, but the Kings aren't scoring right now. And quite frankly, Utah, they only scored 1 there against Anaheim. They did shut out Vegas, and they beat Dallas. Those were 2 impressive wins, no doubt about it. But I'm going to take the Kings here on the road at plus money. Go my Kings. See what you have here in the chat, and that'll be it for the show. And let's see. Kings for Cash Cane, Utah for Philly. Sharks are wrong today. Wait, where are the Sharks there? Oh, the Sharps. He meant the Sharps. Kane meant the Sharps. Thank you to R. Tomps. And thank you to everyone in the chat today. Make sure you visit me over at winnable.com. Get more plays from me. I'm going to put together packages today I'm going to have some tennis. I'm going to have some women's college basketball. I'm going to have some college baseball. I didn't get to any college baseball public plays yesterday, but I'll look at the series finales today for sure. We have, when we run out of college basketball, you get to play more sports with me. So check me out over at winnable.com. Hey, look, it's real simple to do. You can go to your phone, you can go to your browser over there, and that's how you get in touch with me over at winnable.com/Ramon. Why wouldn't you do it at least for the free plays over there? I usually send out a couple of free plays there during the day. Sometimes it's actually my stronger plays. I want to show everybody that I can make some good picks. You go over to winnable.com. It looks like this when you get there. And you scroll down here to the prices there. It's $3 a day, but you don't want that. You want to get the more options here. You want the monthly. Okay, this is what you want, $19.95 per month. Click on the Apple Pay. You know how to do it. You get your pizzas, you get your fast food in there. Comes up there. You put now it says $21, but you got to put the code in there. Putting the code in there is very, very easy when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. And this supports me here on the channel. Use that promo code STEAM. It comes out to about, I say 41 cents a day. It's really 37 cents when I tack on another week in there. If this show is worth 37 cents a day to you, then please get my picks over there at winnable.com. Mike's only sending me hot dogs, and I want to go with some filet mignon. So subscribe over at winnable.com. Let's hear from Mikey. It was Mikey that made it through the show yesterday, not Jeff. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate it if you subscribe to the plays. I love making the plays. I love sending them out, man. For an old tout like me, it's really great that this type of technology comes with the Winnable, and I can streamline the plays. The AI grabs the plays in there too. It's really cool. I've been a tout for a long time, actually, way more than people even know. There a little bit. I got to tell you, was talking with a buddy of mine, and he really had. I got to show you this, you guys. It's really neat. Actually, back in the day, the date on this, he sent this to me. I'll show you here if I can do it. I'm going to bring myself back up to the big screen here real quick. There. So I was writing a newsletter of football, and look at this is an NCAA tournament preview. Look at the date on this, March 24th, 1990. This is my preview that I wrote up here. And remember, I called it the Cardinal Line here. That was my name for it. And I was running 900 numbers back then. Had my own 900 lines and everything here. There, see, you had every call guaranteed to have at least 3 powerful plays. Look at this newsletter that I had back in the day. Just incredible that he sent this to me. I guess he had some old issues there lined up, and man, it was really cool looking at how I did it, and had some of these ads on there too. Just like, you see, look, I was 21-6, call now, complimentary pick line with me as well, free selection. These were some other guys that I had on there. And so handicapping contest. Look at what I was doing here. Some insurance guys sponsoring me. Just incredible. He sent me this week, and thank you to FMZ here for some of that. And look, I even had my own brackets and the NFL in the newsletter and everything. Man, I was on top of it back then. I used to be a genius, you guys, and then something happened. Probably the week. All right, here we go. Let me do the drawing here. Where are we at? There we go. Let's do the drawing and get out of here. Thank you, everybody. 40 people today. Here we go. Winner's going to get a free month to a guy who's been making newsletters, making picks on 900. This is the world champion, Ramon Scott, and right now on my heavy hitter hotline for Sunday, I've got for you 5 big plays from college basketball. 1-900-420-8027. Damon, you won again. I think Damon won earlier this week. Use the promo code WINNER to get 1 free month of plays from a guy who's been touting for over 35 years here over at winnable.com. Thanks, everybody. Great time here. I feel a lot better. Man, I'm really in a good mood because my back doesn't hurt after that. I don't know what was going on there yesterday, but make sure you join me here tomorrow for more Morning Steam. Enjoy all the games today, everybody. Final. There. Could you hear me back there? There we go. All right, I'm here. I'm now. Wow. Be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. I don't know what's going on, but the show's over. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here. There we go. Mikey loves the thing he made me. I do too. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Morning Steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.
I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.